So today I've decided to play Turbo OutRun. Now, this came out in 1989, which was 3 years after the original OutRun. Now, I only discovered this game a few years back. I didn't know it existed. I thought the sequel was OutRun 2, which came out in 2002. But then I came across this. So the fact that it came out 3 years after OutRun, I thought, right, okay, so hopefully we're going to have progressed on that and this is going to be an even better game. So I am going to start with the negatives, and unfortunately, it definitely isn't the better game. So the problems that I find with this game are, one, graphically, it's not as good. I would have expected it to have been better. The changes between the scenes are literally instant. The background just literally changes, rather than the original OutRun where it fades out and fades back in again, which looks really, really nice. So the next thing is the control of the car isn't as good. It doesn't feel as good, whereas it should have been better. And the tracks, there are no choices of tracks. You've got one track that goes from start to finish, although it does have checkpoints, and you can't choose your music either. There is only one piece of music throughout the whole game. Now, that being said, that makes it sound really awful. It is still quite a fun game to play, and it is quite challenging. It is very, very difficult. So let's load it up. Now, it came like OutRun in a deluxe cabinet and a stand-up cabinet. Now, I believe the deluxe cabinet was simply a converted cabinet from the original OutRun. I must admit, had I played that in the arcades and walked into my arcade and seen a deluxe OutRun turned into Turbo OutRun, I'd have been very excited, given it a go, and then been very, very disappointed, I have to admit. But hey, I never ever saw this in the arcades at all. So if you've seen my OutRun video, you'll know the controls that I've got. I'm going to post a link to it here, so you can actually have a look at the controls with my steering wheel added onto the machine, and also the pedals. But for now, let's give the game a go and see how far I can get. So there's the course. It's just one course from start to finish, and each purple item is a checkpoint. So there's 4 checkpoints. I've never made it. I've only got past this checkpoint once, and I hardly ever get there. So you do get to choose whether you're playing in manual or automatic. So I'm going to play in automatic. So you're not going to see me changing the gears, but it does work. If I want to go in manual, it does work. So the difference here as well is you've also got a rival. Now, my tip for this game, to enjoy it more, is just imagine that it did actually come out before the original OutRun, because then you won't be expecting too much. And had it done so and been like this, it probably would have been a lot better. Well, it would have felt a lot better, should I say. The game itself would have been exactly the same. So it does start off relatively easy. Like, you've got the turbo, which you've seen me use, and at the bottom we've got the graphic with the overheat. So obviously if your turbo overheats, you then can't use it anymore. So we use the turbo. But you notice how the scene just suddenly changed there. There was no gradual change. And the other thing I don't like is things like this, the rain and the blizzards, make it almost impossible to actually even see the screen. It's kind of like ruins the effect rather than enhances it. I don't know, what's your opinion on that? Maybe you like it that way. It does make it more tricky, I have to admit. And then of course you've got a police car coming to chase you as well, which doesn't help you in any way, shape or form. So this time, because we're going sort of like undercover, you don't notice the scene change. Now that's a lot better transition that way. But then again, we've got the blizzard, so we can barely see anything on the screen. I'm getting pounded here. The other thing I don't like are sort of like the bumps and additions to the bumps in the road. It just doesn't seem realistic. I just don't see they needed to be there. I guess they kind of put it in to give you an added obstacle, but for me it doesn't add to the game in any way. So you just wouldn't find things on a road like that. But say it does add to the difficulty, so I'm not complaining about that. So you are approaching now the first checkpoint. Now if I beat my rival, I get an extra 1,000,000 points. If my rival beats me, the lady travelling in the car with me will get out and swap into my rival's car. So that's a nice little addition. I can't argue that.
Very good.
So I don't think I beat my rival, so we'll probably see her get out now. Now at the checkpoint, you get a chance to upgrade your car. Now I don't know what the best thing is here. I always choose the high grip tyre. Let's see, did I beat it? No. So now she's going to get out and jump in his car. Right, it's not often I pass this set of stages. So playing off to the side is even more tricky. So you're probably going to see some seriously erratic driving now. So I'll hit my turbo now, speed through. Now this is where it gets really tricky, and I don't think it controls as well. Going around the bends here definitely doesn't control as it would do in the original OutRun. So it takes a bit of mastering to actually get around these bends without too much happening. And considering I'm off to the side, I didn't do too badly there. And then my rival literally just forced me off the track. So this is quite a windy scene now. If you've been keeping your eye on the scene changes, again you'd have probably noticed the jump. Here comes the police after me again. Here comes the scene change. I believe it should be coming up. And again, it's just going to change. Yeah, there it is. Just a blink and it's changed. Why on earth couldn't Sega have just done that nice little fade in, fade out? The fact that it's 3 years after the original, surely it wouldn't have been that difficult. They could have done it far, far better. But hey, like I said, just pretend this came out before OutRun. And it is, as I say, it's still fun to play this game. It provides a good challenge, I must admit, because it is quite tricky. Well, I've managed to make it to the checkpoint. I certainly won't get much further than this. Now, if I beat my rival, she'll get back in my car. Now again, I don't know which upgrade to use, so I now go for the high power engine. There we go, so now she's getting back in my car. So this first section, or stage of the next checkpoint, is very reminiscent of the original OutRun. As you can see, the control is stopping me from steering as I would have done on OutRun. Now this next stage, I hardly ever get past this. It's very windy and you constantly crash. Like that, there we go. You just get forced straight off the road. So if anyone's got any tips for me who can get this far on how to get past this stage comfortably, then let me know in the comments, because I just struggle completely with this stage. It's so windy and there's just obstacles on either side of the track, so I just constantly crash. And even if I don't crash, I just simply run out of time because I can't go fast enough to actually get there. There we go, there's another crash. There's no way that I'm going to get past this. There we go, game's about to end. So guys, if you've got the tips for me on that particular stage, please let me know, because I always struggle to get past it. But other than that, that is Turbo OutRun. I will say, of all the negatives, it is still a fun game to play. It is worth a good play, and my tip is just pretend that it came out before OutRun and not after it. There you go, so I didn't quite even make it onto the high score chart. Okay, so that was Turbo OutRun. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.